Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Hope you guys are doing well. As you know, I'm just sharing y'all. Um, I'm excited about today. We're going to do some of the things, guys, as you're coming on in. We're going to do some of the things that I do on the recorded, when I do the recorded videos. And so, guys, I just want to share some of these things with you. And we're going to be moving into this direction where we're sharing more of this type of content. And so, very excited. I'm so excited. I don't know what to do. I am very excited in this moment. I'm just really excited in this moment. So, come on in, share the broadcast. That's what I'm doing. Just share it with everyone. And yeah, let's see. We're just going to share it with everyone. So y'all come on in. As y'all coming on in, come on in, come on in. We're just sharing with everyone. And it's just exciting. I am excited to be sharing this today. So I'm excited that you guys are here. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, it's just a good day. I hope you guys are having a good day wherever you are. And I just, appreciate you guys sharing and being here with me and just doing what you do, because I could not do what I do without you guys. And so I just really appreciate you all. Let's see. Let's see if it's in here. Oh, okay. I'm sharing my last one. Y'all are coming on in. If you're coming on in, please come on into the stream and let me know that you are here. Let me bend this down. Talking about bending realities, y'all. Let me bend this on down. Thanks for being here. I just appreciate you all. Again, this is another impromptu live. We're having more and more of these, but it's just it's the season. I am trying to keep up with doing three videos, doing one video a day. And so we don't know how we're doing, but I'm just excited for the journey. I'm excited about everything that's happening here and around the world. As I look around the world, it's just exciting to see us. I got my Believe shirt on. It says Believe in Yourself. I'm just excited to see us just doing all these. Let me leave my Believe out. Just excited to see all of us are all around the world doing amazing, amazing things. And it's just exciting. And so I'm excited for all of you and your journeys and the amazing things that you're doing. Yes, it's just very, very exciting. So as you guys come on in, thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming on in. I know it's late, 9, and so I know that you guys are getting ready for work tomorrow. So those of you who are able to join me, that's a new word. Those of you who are able to join me, I am just so extremely grateful. And so I just thank you for being able to be here with me. So I'm going to give people a little bit more time to come on in. And just give everybody a little bit more time. Let's see how this goes, because like I said, I did not tell anybody ahead of time that I was going live, and you know how that goes. So let me go over here and just see what's going on so I can share it to another place and let everybody just come on in. Last night people trickled on in, but they came on in, and so here is another night for another opportunity that we have to really share with each other. So I'm going to share it in another place and just see how this goes. All right, let's see. Oh, there it is. It's opening up. So let me share in another place here. Here it is. Let's see here. And get everybody in. Oh, there it is. Get everybody in. Let's see if it'll let me do that. Okay, there it is. I'm just gonna copy and just share it over in this place as everyone is coming in. So thank you so much for y'all coming in. I really appreciate it. Come on in, come on in, come on in, and have a seat. Get you something cold to drink. I got water, and so get you something. We're not gonna be too long. I said that last night we were there for 3 hours, y'all. We ain't trying to do that tonight. I say that every time, but you all. I just have time. I have a good time spending with you all. So what can I say? So we're going to. I know you guys have. If you have children, this is a good time for some of you. Perfect timing because you have put the kids away, and so this is a good time for you. So yeah. So let me see here. Just gonna go ahead and. That's a draft. Yeah, let me go ahead and share with some more people as you guys are coming in because apparently the sharing is working. And we're going to get started in just a minute. So thank you so much for the people who have joined me so far. It's really good to see you. So good. Thank you so much. If you've joined me so far, I really appreciate it. Please just go ahead and share the broadcast where you are because that will help me so much. So yes. So I'm just gonna finish sharing, guys, and then I'll. It's been how is it been where you are? It has been a little cold here, but I am, of course, loving the cold. I am loving the cold because it is just feeling good, and so it's just been feeling good today with all of this good cold weather, and yeah, I've had a good day. So a couple more people are joining. If you've joined and you've come on in, then please come on in and say hello in the chat so I will know you're there. I know we have about 6 or 7 people watching so far and more people are coming. But if you could go ahead and come on in the chat, some of you guys, then I'll know you there. We're going to get started really soon. We're going to get started in just a moment. Let's see. I'm typing the wrong thing, y'all. There it is. There it is. I'm gonna type this on in here. But yeah, I'm having, like I said, an amazing day. It's been a good day. It's been a little chilly outside, but it's been good. And that's really all you can hope for, a good day. And so yeah, a few more people are coming in. But like I said, please, please, please share it and let everybody know that you're here. So come on in the chat and let me know you're there so I can see your pretty face. So let's see. Okay, there it is. I kept looking for the share button and couldn't find it. That's something. All right, guys. Just come, like I said, come on in. Let me know that you're here. It is cold here today, but it's the weather in the South. If you don't like it today, then all you have to do is come around tomorrow because the weather will change. Yes, it will. The weather will change. So all you have to do is just sit down and take a breath, take a breather, go around the corner. And tomorrow, the weather will be different. That is just the South. So tell me where you are. If you're in the chat, please tell me where you are. And tell me how it is going today. So we're going to get to the topic. Let's just chat for a minute while everybody's coming on in. Let me get some water, y'all. So I saw today, talking about bending realities, I saw today that finally the orange one has succeeded the election. So I thought that was well, not quite succeeded, but has is allowing for the funds to be released to the transition team for 2021. So that should be interesting. Uh, but, sometimes we live in our own realities, and it can be very interesting. But yes, it can be very interesting when we live in our own realities. But we are earthbenders, we are crafters of our own reality. And so we understand and we know that we can create the life that we desire. And so if no one comes, I'm just going to go ahead and talk for a little while. And if no one comes in, because I know this is kind of a late chat, then we will try for this again tomorrow. And I might just wash my shirt and have my same shirt on tomorrow. So just know, if you see me tomorrow, that my blouse, my shirt will be clean because I'll wash it. And because I really wanted to do this with Believe. So I'm just going to give more time. Let's see what else is going on in the news. I hope you guys had an opportunity to check out the live that we did last night, because that was a lot of fun. It's very exciting. So I hope you got a chance to check out that live last night. We talked about Lizzo. It was very interesting. So we got a chance to talk about Lizzo and her definition of money. So that was quite interesting. It's a very interesting conversation. And so she has definitely been one to start her career and to start her journey, start her life, and decide that she was going to be a reality bender. She was going to be what I call a crafter and designer of her own reality. And so you too have that opportunity to craft and to create the reality that you desire. It is in your power, and we are experiencing a mass exodus that is happening. It is happening. It is upon us. And so many people are deciding that they want a different life and that they are no longer willing to settle for simply living here in the US, that they want a different life. They want a life of their own choosing, where they are happy and where they are blessed and where they are at peace. And so they are deciding that they are leaving the US and they are going back home to Africa after being brought here and even forced to be here over 500 years ago. We are in the midst of a great awakening. We are in the midst of this amazing season. My southern accent almost came out. Amazing, this amazing season where people are choosing to go home. And so we're seeing it, we're popping up all across the country, all across the continent. We're popping up in Ghana, we're popping up in Zanzibar, and in Um, hey, thank you. I am cozy, sis. Thank you so much. We're I was talking about the Great Awakening. Hey, Maya, how are you? It's so good to see you. Thank you for joining me. So we are cropping up everywhere. We're cropping up in Tanzania. We're popping up in all around in Ghana. We're popping up all over the world, Zambia and Burkina Faso. We are really creating the reality that we desire. We're deciding that so much of our reality has been created for us, and so now it's time, right? We're deciding that now is the time. Hey, African millennial, how are you doing, sis? Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it, y'all. Y'all don't know how much this means to me that you guys are here. I just appreciate you so much. And so tonight, I decided that what I would do was bridge the gap in my content. And so YouTubers, you'll understand, but I was having a huge content gap between the type of content that I was sharing in the recorded videos and the type of content that I was sharing in my lives. So I've been working these last couple of weeks with my agent and with my business partner and business investor. Of course, you all know him as Milton. So we've been working on really trying to get the content, solidify what our content goals are going to be for this channel moving forward, and to get on a targeted messaging so that both those two areas line up, the live videos and the recorded content, so that it's seamless for the user, whether you're watching a live video or whether you're watching a recorded video. You're going to get a lot of the similar content, so you know what to expect from my channel. Now that doesn't mean, because I'm very a creative person, so I hate to be trapped in a box. So we are going to still do different things here and there, because creatively I need to mix it up. I can't just stay the same. I have to mix up my content. But I'm wearing my favorite shirt, Believe in Yourself. It's my favorite tee. But and I so put this on today because I needed that to pull that strength to be able to share. And so what we're really talking about. So for us as African Americans, for over 500 years, we have been trapped in places where we're beyond our own choosing, where we did not choose. And so we've been trapped in the West, right? And so for over 500 years, since the first slaves were stolen, kidnapped, all of that as a part of the transatlantic slave trade. And so today there is a great awakening that is upon us. There is a beautiful, amazing, new and exciting thing. And I say, it's not new, because Marcus Garvey, tried to come home, although he didn't make it. But now people are entering this door of no return and knocking down those invisible doors and gates and chains that have bound us to the West and kept us. And we are creating our own destiny. We are creating and crafting our own realities. And it's time. Rip Van Winkle stayed asleep for only 100 years. But many of us, our ancestors, for whatever reason, although they wanted to come home, they tried to come home. And there were so many things that happened against them to keep them here, to stop them, to keep them in the West, whether it's Britain or whether it's here or anywhere throughout the UK and the Caribbean, wherever we are. And so now we are awakening. There is a great awakening that's happening. And that's not only happening to us. We're not the only ones that are leaving the West. There are other people who are leaving the West as well. Many of our counterparts who, do not look like us, they're tired too. They're tired of the West. They are tired of the hustle and the bustle and the struggle and the grind and the continual work and the effort and the moving and the going and never getting ahead and the, two kids and the white picket fence, only to see that, as Lizzo says, that this is everything that glitters is not gold, that everything that they thought would happen and be is not happening, as businesses are continuing to shut down. As I just saw today, things are happening. We live in a society that, although we say this is a Christian society, the values don't always line up. It's funny because I had an assignment for school that was about that. We explored United uh, what is the airlines called? United Airlines. We explored United Airlines and how, the 16-year-old that was a STEM student was on American Airlines, and she was African American, and a passenger sitting next to her did not want to sit next to a Black person. So they moved her. They moved, the other person, and not the African American STEM student who was only 16 years old. And so you keep sensing and feeling and experiencing these moments of racism that exist in America, and people are tired. People are tired after all of the things that have happened, all of the negative things that have happened against us this year, especially. And even, all of these years, I remember growing up in Mississippi and learning of all of the negative things that were happening, and we've come through segregation, we've come through all of these things, and people are awakening and saying that they are tired. They're no longer here to just pray and believe that everything is going to be all right and that nothing is going to change. We're experiencing this where every religion, everything is, is saying, just hang in there, just pray and just keep on. And baby, it's going to, be, and people are tired. There's no longer, they're no longer able to keep hope alive. They are tired. And so this is that seasoning. This is that season where you're having this great awakening. This is where we are. And so now, not only, we're not afraid to travel to where we want to go. We're unafraid to travel to Africa and where we want to go, but we are leaving. People are actually packing up their homes, selling everything, and leaving the West to go home. And this is the season. And if we have to document it, we have to document what's going on and be a part of understanding and sensing, right? So people on the continent, in Africa, are welcoming us with open arms, are welcoming us to come home, and are willing to help us bridge the gap. I was just talking, if you haven't seen, I was just talking to the traveling photographer. And so he's an amazing photographer. He's in Ghana, and he does treks and tours for people who want to explore Ghana and all of Africa. And so I was just talking to him today about some of the places that we wanted to explore, some of the places that we wanted to go, and some of the things that we wanted to do. Well, 20 years ago, I would not have even considered this as a reality for me, not as something that was real. I might have, thought about it But as far as making plans, packing up my things, really making plans for my family, no. So how many of you, if you're in the chat with me, please tell me how many of you are on this track. If just put a one in the comments if you are interested on this journey, if you are experiencing this great awakening. And so when I thought about it, of people as we're experiencing this great awakening, I began to really think about and really realize that there are some, characteristics that happen as we awaken, right? Blind guy, his wife, their life says, the welcoming nature is so real. I found Africans in the States to be friendly. Can't wait to make it home as my own reality myself. Absolutely. Right. So many Africans. That's another part of this awakening, right? We're awakening to this reality that of the lies that we've been told, that they don't want us to come home, they don't want us to come back, all of this stuff. And we're awakening, and Africa itself is awakening at the same time, right? They're ready to accept us. Ghana is creating a Wakanda city, right? Senegal is doing Akon City. The Gambia is doing amazing things. Everywhere you go, I just saw Tanzania. There were some Tanzanians who were starting YouTube channels to welcome people to Tanzania and to guide them through the process of returning home. It's beautiful what's happening in Kenya, Uganda, everywhere, Burkina Faso, everywhere, right? 54 countries and minor islands, right? And so they're welcoming us home to come home, and we're connecting and partnering together and working together. And it's beautiful. It is beautiful. And so African Millennial says, I have to go back within 2 years. Absolutely. Absolutely. I have to, that's my 2 years or less. I'm with you on that same plan. It's time. It is time. Maya says, the diaspora are waking up. Yes, all around the world. We're all waking up. Yes, it's all around the world. And it is absolutely beautiful. And it is amazing. And so when I was, sort of going through this, I realized there were some, characteristics around the great awakening, right? In terms of just this general feeling of malaise, just this general feeling that something's not right here. You're just not quite satisfied. It's a dissatisfaction and dis-ease with everything that's going on. Anybody feeling any of these things? As I'm going through, if you're feeling any of these things, or these, or some of the things you or your family members were feeling as you were coming into this awakening, let me know. Just put the name of it in the, in the chat. You might have been feeling anxiety. You might have been feeling just a sadness over the state of the things as they are, over the state of the politics. Just, just a slight, underneath, just an anger or just sadness over, it's like you come to a point where you're like, it is what it is. This is what the West is, and this is not going to change. This is how it is. It is not going to change, right? It is what it is. You kind of just come to this space, and then you get, just a tiredness. Like I'm just tired, right, of all this stuff that's going on, right? I'm just tired of what's going on. I see all of this stuff that's going on. It hadn't changed in 30 years. It hadn't changed in 50 years since I've been on the continent. It hasn't changed. And you're just, you know, and then unbothered, which is my favorite one. That's what I got to. I got to the place where I was just like, whatever they do, just do it. Just, I'm glad that we staying in the house because I'm good. because I ain't they ain't gotta fool me and I ain't gotta fool with them. You know what I mean? It's like I'm unbothered. Whatever they want to do, just do it, you know? Maya says, a bit of fear. Yeah, a bit of fear. A bit fearful. And I do want to talk about that in an upcoming broadcast because to tackle that, because we are experiencing a lot of fear in the diaspora as we're moving. And this is the time to really be courageous and to have a lot of courage. And so we have to be courageous in this season and have a lot of courage for what we're doing because this is a time to work together and be courageous, right? So African Millennial says it's great the diaspora community back home is partnering up with governments for the diaspora projects. It's just unbelievable. It is, sis. It's unbelievable the amount of partnership and community investments and communities working together. I mean, just beautiful things like the offerings of free land in Ghana and other places. It's really chiefs coming together to make this happen. Of course, a lot of this started with, and people attributed to the year of the return that happened in Ghana. But it was the Roots Festival years ago that happened with Alex Haley in the Gambia, and people began to return home after the movie The Roots. People began to return home. And of course, Marcus Garvey and so many others who've worked tirelessly as a part of this effort. And so, Blind Guy, his wife, and their life. That's a beautiful symbol you got on there. So thank you for hitting the join button. I just appreciate you so much. Says, due to propaganda to make everywhere else look appealing, except for the largest continent, the richest continent, the most beautiful continent where my people are, I fell into the trap of being okay in the West until now. It's a great awakening. At the same time, how is it at the same time we're all awakening and as if the scales are just being pulled from our eyes? And I know some of us were not ready because I wasn't quite ready for the Great Awakening either. I was like, oh my gosh, am I really considering this? Like, is this really real? I'm dreaming about it. I'm talking about it all day. I'm driving my husband crazy. I'm driving my kids crazy. It's like, and all of the lies, it's just, you just get this, thing in the center of your stomach, right? Just in the pit of right in the center, in your heart, right? In your heart chakra. You get this center and this feeling that there's something beautiful about Africa, something that we haven't explored. There's just this love for Africa, and you just can't quite even explain it. A love for the people, a love for the land, a love for the ocean and everything. You become one with it, and you're not even there. You've become one with everyone, all your family members in Africa. And we're not even there yet. Many of us are not even there yet, but it's a part of this great awakening. We feel connected, just like I feel so connected to each of you. Ni Amu says cooperation is one of the keys to success. Absolutely. Cooperation is one of the keys to success. It absolutely is. And this spirit of cooperation is beautiful, and it is amazing, and it's happening, and it's happening quickly, right? People are coming on the ground and quickly finding the resources and the people that they need and getting housing and getting all of the things that they need, and people are working together that never even worked together when they were here in America. Suddenly, people that don't even know each other. I just talked to one of my sisters. I was just talking to her. She was writing me to let me know she made it to the Gambia. Her flight had been delayed last week. Well, not really her flight delayed, but she had some issues, and so So she wasn't able to leave last week with her flight, and then so now she left and she's there. And it's beautiful. I'm gonna wait to let her announce it, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna tell her, but I'm excited. I know you're probably watching, but I'm so excited for you, sis. You know I love you. Um from the Gambia, you know I love you. To the Gambia, you know I love you. Yeah, I feel like I'm there. I'm telling you, this oneness is real, and cooperation is one of the keys, right? And so she's linking up with locals, our local family members who are there on the ground, and they're showing her around, and it's beautiful. African millennial says, yeah, the propaganda is still happening right now, but we got to shake that up. Yeah, we got to shake it up and shake it off. You know, you got to shake it up and just shake it off. And so some of those people who returning home, I hope they got their snacks, because yeah, we got work to do. And they can't stay. We got work to do. And this is the moment, which is the next thing, this is the moment where things are being exposed. So every agent, right, is being exposed in this moment. Every agent is being exposed in this moment. It's just we're waking up to everything. And so you're not going to be able to trick and fool us. You're not going to be able to do that anymore. No, you can't. You're not going to be able to operate that way anymore, because we're awakening to our purpose. We're awakening to the truth of who we are. I started this talking about, in videos talking about, honoring your crown, embracing your crown. We're awakening to our crown, being more than just our hair, right? Being more, and isn't it just interesting that a lot of this awakening began with us going back to our natural hair. Natural hair, shea butter, coconut oil. I'm telling you, they are responsible for the Great Awakening. They are responsible for the Great Awakening. I'm telling you. Maya says agents, right? These people who want all these snacks and stuff, right? We're not going over there for snacks. We got work to do. We have work to do. And so all of these things, right, are happening. It's this yearning for more natural ancestral things. This is one of the reasons you'll see recorded videos. If you haven't, go check that out, on grounding, right, on walking barefoot. So we're going back to all of these natural practices, our traditional religions, right? We're coming out of more the traditional religions back into our African traditional religions. So out of calling us out of Christianity and all these things. So that's why this exposing is happening with Paula White and with so many other things. This is why you're having people, like Lizzo saying that, everything that glitters is not gold, right? Because we're awakening. We're becoming alive. We're awakening. And we're realizing that this system that we're in is not healthy for us, that it's not healthy for our people, right? It's not healthy for us. And so whether it's our career, we're awakening, we're seeing, okay, so our careers, whatever it may be, right? We're looking at our careers as just a dissatisfaction, especially during COVID, during the thing that should not be named. I almost said it, but I don't want it YouTube to. But anyway, to be trying to send me little love notes. So the thing that should not be named, but since that thing has come up, we're seeing just how different industries and how they treat people, right? Our frontline workers, our essential workers, right, are essentially working without the PPE and all the things that they need. And we are the best, right? In the West, right? We're the best. That's the propaganda we've been sold, the lies we've been told. And so now we're realizing that these scales are sort of dropping down on our eyes, like, this ain't the reality that I wanted. I need to learn how to be a reality bender, right? And we can use, the law of attraction. You can use the Amun Ra. You can use Thoth. You can use Ma'at. You can use the principles of alchemy. All of these things to understand that we are reality benders, right? We are the people who can create and craft our own reality. We have that power, and that's why we were stolen. If you felt some sort of, if you felt some type of dis-ease with a career or with school, many of us are taking our kids out of school and are homeschooling them. Many of us are thankful that this sort of, thing that should not be named has happened. The mass one has happened because now we get to spend that quality time at home. So if you've had, whether it's with a career or whether it's with something else, where you just felt, right, that you have had some type of, some type of thing where you have felt like, wow, it is time for me to move, right? It's time for me to go, and it's time for me to create my own reality, right? It's time. I can't wait anymore. I can't stay here anymore. So tell me, what was your first thing that started? Was it work or career that you started finding, like, man, these people just don't want to treat people right? I was just looking at, I had said I was doing this project with, for school, and we had to look at United Airlines and look at the corporate policies and look at how they, employees were being treated. We, looked at how even passengers were being treated. So there was a United American employee that said that an African American customer called the person a monkey, right? All this stuff is happening. All this stuff is happening. And so tell me, where was your first area? What was your first thing where you started looking at, like, this is not, with me, it was the economy. It was just like, why are they keep saying, I'm seeing all these businesses go out of, things go out of business, but everybody's saying that the unemployment is great and economy is great and the NASDAQ is up and, people are still investing. And I was just like, what awkward, backwards, upside down reality are we in that people just can't share, the truth? Because we run a nonprofit here and it's like people are hungry and children don't have food and they need clothes. What's going on? Shana TV says we are too peaceful, but they stay bothering. They do. They do. Shanna asks, when did you become woke? I would say that I have been in and out of consciousness for a while. Let me say it that way, that I have woke up and went back to sleep and woke up again and went back to sleep. I can say that because it's the truth. And so I'm a 90s baby, 80s baby. So I was, born in the late 60s and 69. So there was Black Power when I was going. So I grew up in the 70s. So I saw the hair and saw that. And then everybody went to from straightening combs to perm to this whole thing. And then leaders and, all the things that were happening as a part of the Black Power movement. And so I watched that, kind of saw through the 70s, this transition from Soul Train to, this Nino Brown. Okay. Because that's literally what happened. And in the 90s, we had Queen Latifah and all these other people. And so consciousness was this Black consciousness movement. We changed our names as part of that from Black to African American. I was a part of that, proponent of that. And you get your family, you start living. I wanted to move to Africa. My hubby wasn't quite ready. And you just kind of go back to sleep for whatever reason. And so for the last couple of years, I've just felt this movement and this awakening within myself. And it was like a slow thing of getting away from TV altogether, right? And only watching either African television, South African television, or watching Nollywood, and just turning off the news, turning off the TV, period. If I see the news, it's because I read it. It's not, or on my phone. So I'm watching like the news on my phone, but I don't actively watch television like that anymore. And so I began to just slowly awake. And then by 2019, my husband got sick, and then I got sick, and we had a very tough experience for the last couple of years because of my husband's work. And he worked in a place at a religious institution. And so you would think that these people would be religious, would be pure in heart, all of these things. That's not how they were. And so slowly we began to see things, and we saw way too much. And the scales began to come off, and it was like, this is not it. There has got to be something better. There has got to be something more, right? And then it's the recognition that you have the opportunity to create your own reality, right? And to create the life that you want and you desire. Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life says, African spirituality is one of the things I've recently discovered, and it helps me to create a real reality wherever I am. It's a resource and code to live by in the West and at home. Absolutely. And that has been my grace. That has been my savior. Experiencing African, traditional African spirituality and consciousness. That has been my saving grace. And so what I really learned through, whether it's my art or through all of these other techniques, through Ra, right, through all these other techniques, which are really biblical techniques that were stolen, right, from ancient African traditions. And so learned to be an alchemist. I had always been very interested in alchemy and how you can change things, right, and create things. And so that kind of began my journey. That began my journey. So we've been inside of the matrix, right? We've been inside of this matrix for far too long. I got notes, y'all, because I had to take notes. So we things are being exposed, they're being unveiled, and we are deciding, right? Now we know. Okay, now we see the matrix, right, quite clearly. I also, like a lot of people my age, watched The Secret and watched all of those things, and was first journeyed into just consciousness and spirituality, and eventually made my way back to myself, right, back to my ancestors, back to African traditional religion, after another lie being told that this is evil, right? That this is evil, that it's bad, that it's witchcraft, all those things that we're taught. To see myself. And I've noticed a lot of time that it's in this time, while there are men, but it's being led by women. And so kudos to you all, to the women here who are here tonight. And thank you to the brothers. I know Milton is here. Thank you to the brothers and the kings who are going to be watching as well on the replay. So I appreciate y'all so much. But a lot of this is being led by women. It's being led by us. And we are, as we always have, creating and crafting our reality. Now, if you watched the broadcast last night, you saw Blind Guy, his wife, in their life. You saw her share how she can cook food for thousands of people. She can take a little and make a lot. And so we have been creating and bending reality for a long time. We've been designers and creators here. We've built nations here. And that's one of the reasons we as a people were targeted, because we're so gifted. And this is why I've been saying to people, don't allow yourself to get sucked into, right? Don't allow yourself to get sucked into this negative reality. Pull yourself out and pull yourself away and begin to focus your mind so that you can create the reality that you desire. Because your ancestors weren't just, basic people running around. No, they were master designers and crafters and builders. When you look at the history, when you look at the pyramid, when you look at all of pyramids, you look at all of the things that we've done in terms of medicine, in Timbuktu, all of these things, then you realize that we have been a powerful people who have been creating and crafting reality for such a long time. And that we have innate gifts and special, I was going to say special powers, and it's true, but magical things within us in the way that we can use our mind and we can create the life that we desire. And so anyone who decides they want to go to Africa, or you decide that you're going to leave the West and you're going to go to another land that you do not know, you have to, you got to have a whole different mindset, right? You got to come from a whole different spiritual place, because now you are the captain. You're the captain of your own ship. Now you are the captain of your own ship. You are the one that is creating and crafting your reality. You are bending reality. The realities that said that they don't want you in Africa, they don't want you in the motherland, you bend that, right? The lies that they tell us, right? In the matrix that says you have to stay here in the West for the rest of your life. Your children are here and they're going to be here. Everybody's going to stay here. We'll never get home. Then you have to bend that and decide that you're going to get a new thought and you're going to create and craft a new reality for yourself and for your children. This is a season. This is that season, right? Where you decide that no longer am I going to sit and wait. I'm going to do this now. I have the power that is within me to call in all of the resources, the money, the friends, right? The support group, the network, the guides that I need. And so I rely on the ancestors to be able to help me and to guide me in creating and crafting this new reality. And so we're going to go over a lot of the techniques, but we have to really first understand that we can create our own reality. The first thing is to understand, right, that it's okay, and give yourself permission to create your own reality, to give yourself the permission to do something new. That's the first step, to give yourself that permission, to know that there's something else out there for you. You feel it in your soul, you feel it in your heart. But sometimes, if we really are honest with ourselves, because I've had moments like this where it just seems like, oh my gosh, do I need to sell anything? Can I take anything with me? Can I take my car? Well, what do I take? What and then where do I go? It's like question after question, right? How much money do I need? Well, what kind of job am I going to do when I get there? Well, I have to give up my career here. So, how am I going to sustain myself? Is anybody else asking those questions? If you're asking questions and you have felt a certain amount of uncertainty, right? Let me know. Share it. Maya has talked about fear above. If you've had sort of these kind of fears or thoughts, share it. This is where we get that out and say, yeah, I'm not quite sure how this is all going to work out, but I believe and I trust that it will. I know that it will. I believe and I trust that it will. Giving ourselves this opportunity, right? Giving ourselves the permission to dream beyond what we see, right? What we see, and to reach for something more. LOL, Mo. Right? So just this react to know that that's the first step, right? To give yours the first step to creating the whole reality is to believe that you can. To know within yourself that you can create this new reality for yourself, and that you give yourself the permission to know that you're going to be okay, and to trust that it is all being worked out for you in divine time, that it's all being created for you in divine time. So in divine time, right, your house already exists. In divine time and ancestral time, where there is no time and space, your new career, your new life already exists. In this new time and new reality that you're bending and you're creating for yourself and your family, your children are happy and they're walking on the beach, and they're walking in Ghana, and they're walking in the Gambia, they're walking in Zambia, and they're walking in Tanzania and Kenya, and they are happy, and you are at peace, and you're surrounded in love. And hold on to that. Hold on to that. Hold on to that ability within yourself to know that you can create this new reality. And then, Blind Girl and the Wife talked about this last night. There's a fair amount of healing that has to go on. So forgive and release and let go. Forgive the past of all these things that have happened. Forgive the past of all of these things that have been done to us here in this current time, and the past of what has happened in our ancestral line. All of that. Forgive it, release it, and just let it go. Forgive it, release it, and let it go. And every time a feeling comes up, whether it's fear or whether it's trepidation, or you're feeling something through your ancestral line, right? Anger or whatever the case may be, release that and let it go, so that you can move on, so you can move forward. Because there takes a fair amount of healing. It's going to take a fair amount of healing to heal 500 years of everything that has been created and everything has been done. And so debunking the myths, you're right. We're already on that journey. So every time something comes up, right? Because let me get a drink of water. Let me just get a sip. But during the Great Migration, one of the fears, one of the things that whenever you have this conversation with us, and we're talking, right, about moving, about leaving, right, about all these things, undoubtedly somebody's going to come and they're going to say, move in secret. Don't tell everybody this. Don't say this. Don't talk about it. We got to get off Facebook. We got to get off, YouTube. We got to get off social media. Although this is our gathering place, this is our meeting place, this is where we're coming together. But undoubtedly, somebody brings that up, right? And so it's like this fear that Massa gonna get us, right? Like Massa gonna, got to be like the Underground Railroad. We can't talk about that. We can't. Don't let nobody know. Don't let nobody know you going. Don't let nobody know we going. Don't let nobody know your plans. Don't let nobody know what's really going on. Medulla Men says, Motherland is calling. It is now or ever. It is now, right? It's now. It is now, the present. And so, of course, we guard our temples. And of course, we move in a way that's protective of ourselves and our families. Of course, we do. Of course, we do. That's just common sense. But we don't move in fear. We move in a way knowing that all is well, knowing that we are protected and we are guided by the ancestors, knowing that we have the ability to craft the reality that we desire. So not only are we not afraid of, right, the things that are going on here and the people here, right? Because people are like, feeling like folks gonna chase you over there and all that. We got to get into a whole different mindset where you command all that is, so that the enemy cannot see you, the enemy cannot find you, right? So we have to really be a part of creating the reality that we want to happen. If you want to go to the motherland right now rather than later, as Medulla Men said, you understand that, right? Then we are about creating that reality now as opposed to later. So it means that we create protections over ourselves and over our families while we're here and as we're moving, so that we're safe. Okay, so not only that are we protecting ourselves here and setting protections all around us here, we're also creating and setting protections for the motherland, right? That it's safe, right? That all of the interference and meddling from the colonizers is come to an end. So all of that. So you are creating your own reality. So in your world, there is peace throughout Africa. In your world, there's prosperity throughout Africa. In your world, there is no hunger, there is no sickness, there is healing, there is wealth, there is prosperity, there is joy. We as a people, as a whole, all of us, our brothers and sisters on the continent, and us as well, we are the ones who are the creators and manifestors of our destiny. And so we just have to decide what it's going to look like, right? If you want a clean house, right, you have to decide, all right, well, I'm going to pick this up every day. I'm going to clean the kitchen. I'm going to do this. I'm going to sweep. I'm going to mop. I'm going to do this. We're going to do something every day. And you kind of see this picture of your house clean, of everything well, of everything, right? You don't go in crafting an idea that, oh, it's going to be messy and it's going to be torn up before you even get there. So debunking those myths. And I think that's really where we want to live. We want to live in this space where we understand that we have the power to create the Africa that we desire. We have the power to create the communities that we desire as a people. And we have to see it, we have to know it, and we have to feel it. And if we want to go home, right, to the motherland, then we must give ourselves the permission to go, give ourselves the permission to allow the resources that we need to come in now. You'll be surprised at how things will begin to come and opportunities will begin to happen for you if you give yourself and give the ancestors permission to be able to begin to work on your behalf. And that's where we are. And so, whenever, what we have to do is then um, give ourselves the permission, right, to create this new reality as we want it to be, right? And then two, create a new positive reality for ourselves, which I talked about, which is we're in Africa, we're happy that Africa itself is beautiful and is happy and people are blessed. And so all of the issues that we see before we get there, that there is a resolution and a solution to those issues and to those problems. Creating a new vision of what it looks like, creating a new reality. Not the same way that we're deciding that we're not going to put up with whatever's going on here in the West. It's the same thing. We have to decide we're not going to put up with whatever exists anywhere, wherever we go. And that our children will be safe, children will be fed and happy and loved. And so we see a solution to, for example, Boko Haram. We see a solution and an end to the conflicts that are happening. We see an end and a resolution peaceful to the conflicts that are happening in Nigeria with SARS. We see a resolution, just see it in our minds, right? We're creating a new reality for Africa. And that's the step that we haven't done. We're all saying, oh, we're going. And a lot that keeps us back sometimes is the money to go. And so pulling in the money, being able to tackle our own limiting beliefs when it comes to money and how we believe about money. Because the first thing is to know that you come from a very powerful and wealthy people. You are the descendants of ancestors who walked in gold mines, who walked in diamond mines and oil fields. This is where you come from. You are the descendants, right? It's within your ancestry where people walked and found tanzanite mines and other precious gemstones like diamonds. This is within your lineage. You. And so that's what we have to understand. We have to take on this crown, reclaim this heritage of who we are and the wealth of who we are. So then, if I am wealthy and I'm blessed and I'm rich, then we can begin to see that showing up then in our own lives. But we've been so disconnected from our own wealth because of the lies that we've been told, that we're poor, that we're nothing, they don't want you, they poor, so they show all people dying of famine and little African babies with no clothes on, make them take off the clothes, but take the picture, you know what they do. So we become so brainwashed and bamboozled. And so then, the other thing is we have to stop saying over and over again is we're descendants of slaves. What? I mean, no, you're descendants of a powerful people. You're descendants of a very powerful people and mighty, wealthy people. That is who we are the descendants of. And so begin to reframe that in your mind so you can call in all of the wealth, all of the prosperity that you need in this season and in this time. These are the principles that I'm using in my life to create, right? So one of the main funders of our trip to Africa is the YouTube channel. And so that's why my husband started his Milton Craft. So this is, that is the main funder, right, of our journey. And so I began to concentrate on that with the ancestors. And I began to ask for ways to get to monetization. I began to ask for ways to be able to bring in and call in resources to the channel so that I could use this as an opportunity to be a blessing to my brothers and sisters, to do something different, to talk about some of our spiritual needs that we need as we begin to repatriate to the motherland, and that we need to manifest and create this new reality. This is what the ancestors are talking to me about. We have to create a new Africa, a new reality. And it's going to take new leaders, it's going to take lots of different things, but it starts with you. It starts with me creating this new reality in our minds. And so I began to, like I said, talk to Milton about his channel, right? And starting to put content on his channel, Milton Craft Man on the Mission, and talking about business strategies and reinventing ourselves. He's talking about some amazing things. So please go over and check him out. And there are brothers and sisters, amazing people like Blind Guy, his wife, and their life, who are creating amazing content that is positive, right? And a resource. Be sure to check them out. African Millennials. So all of these people came, right? Beautiful sisters and brothers came. African Millennial came, right? And so many others to come so that we could create this new community, right? Was this new community of Africans who know who they are and know their power and know their wealth. And all of you, right? Beautiful, amazing people. All of you, right? Madulaman says, it is time to rethink everything we were told. Absolutely. It's time to rethink everything that we've been told, right? Everything. This is the time to recreate every single thing and to rethink every single thing that we have been told, to debunk those myths, right? To debunk those myths and to tear down, right? Every stronghold in our mind. Some of y'all know that language, right? Tear down those strongholds. And when those thoughts come up, don't fight them. When the old thoughts come up about Africa, about our homeland, about even us coming from descendants of slaves, then what do you think? Okay, they're coming from descendants of slaves. What's the first thing you think? You think poverty. You think poverty stricken. You think hungry. You think shoeless. You think no money, no nothing. You don't see them as the warriors that they were. You don't see them as the kings and the queens and the princes and the rulers and the ruling class. You don't see that, right? You don't see them as tradesmen and workmen who had skills, who were very skilled and very talented at what they did. You came to the Americas and there was nothing, right? much of even some of the areas that they went to in the UK, there was absolutely nothing. The towns weren't built up, nothing. And then you bring us here, and suddenly you've got roads and you've got beautiful buildings and you've got infrastructure. It's time for us to create the same way we created the New World, the same way we created the pyramids. It's time for us to create Africa, to create this new world together as the whole total complete diaspora of Africans, as we're being awakened and we're being called home. So now I'm interested to hear how anything that you guys want to share as part of this. I'd love to hear African millennial, anybody who's here, blind guy, their wife, in their life. Let me say this right: blind guy, his wife, in their life. I would love for you to share. I'm going to put this link here in the chat, so you can come on. Anybody can come on if you'd like to come on and share. Anyone can come on. Anyone who's here in the chat or anyone who's watching, please, you can come on and just share kind of how this awakening process has been going for you and what you're thinking about bending, creating, and crafting realities, right? Living with Kabungo. Hello. Hey, how are you? It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Yes, I would love to see and know how you're bending reality. If you're already on the motherland, already on the continent, already in the motherland, I'd love to see how you're bending and creating and crafting reality, because this is our season, right? This is our time. This is our season, right? To wake up and to do beautiful, amazing things, right? This is our time. And this is our season, right? To readjust to new ideas, to readjust to creating something new, to readjust and recraft and recreate our minds so that we are able to create the life that we desire, that we're able to craft and create this new life that we want. And so if you are there and you're out there and you want to come in, this is your opportunity. Grab that link and share how you're creating and crafting your new reality. Living with Kabungo, I'm doing great. How about you? I am great. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I know that we got started and I did. It's kind of an impromptu live, but we're going. I had some homework, so I'm trying to get myself back on a schedule. But I wanted to come and share this with all of you. There's so many things, beautiful, amazing things that are happening. And this is our journey. And we're going to have to go back to African traditional spirituality. And we're going to have to go back to creating this life that we desire. We kind of lost that, right? We lost our ability to really know that we had the power to design our lives, because so much of our lives have been designed for us. And now it's our turn to design and craft the life that we desire. So African Millennial is here. Thank you so much. Blind Guy, his wife, their life says, living with Kabongo. Hello. So I'm going to add African Millennial to the stream. And if anyone else would like to join us, this is the link. And so just click that link, and come on in. Blind Guy, their life, his wife and their life, you're welcome to join us. So we're going to add our sister on in. Hello, African millennial. Doing
Hi.
some.
Good night again. Thanks for having this stream. I really appreciate the topic matter. Uh, I mean, all topic matters are great, but this one is also very close to all our hearts, and it's a really timely conversation to have.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, are you a reality bender? Are you crafting? What are you crafting and creating in your new reality? So, tell us about your process and some of the things you're doing.
All right. What I'm trying to do is I'm basically trying to speak to a lot of the continentals because there's just been so much discommunication between both groups. So I speak to both, but I always try to tell the continentals that we really have to be careful with the diaspora because the diaspora, to me, it's like everyone's so hard on the diaspora. And
Mm,
I just feel like some continentals don't really understand what happened here and how psychologically a lot of people are messed up and they've just given up, but
mm,
we have to take the time to really understand each other. And what I mean by that is, I was having a conversation with somebody recently, and she was talking about the police brutality in the US. And she was saying that for some people, moving to somewhere where it's peaceful, it's just everything. Like, it's a surreal feeling. And I was asking her, and I was like, is it all that bad? Like, is it really that bad? Because I'm not in the States at the moment. So I was asking her, is it really all that bad? And she was like, you really wouldn't understand what it is because you don't come from that lineage.
mm,
And when she said that, at first I was like, what? But I think that she's right. Sometimes we really do downplay what our ancestors really went through here,
mm,
how long they went through it, and how psychologically that that trauma was passed down and not really dealt with. You know, we're going through the motions, we're going to work. If you, I
mm.
always use this analogy. You wake up at 7 a.m., maybe you take the city bus or you drive, like you're always on the go. Your mind is always on something. You really don't have the time to really stop and think. And then how that happens is it trickles down to your children, you know, because if you don't really know who you are, or if you haven't been given the opportunity to really discover that part of you, what are you leaving down to the next generation? So it's been years in this. And I mean, I don't know all the answers, but I'm just imagining that a couple of years ago, we didn't have all these resources that we do have now.
Right.
So I always used to think, like, if we knew all this, why didn't we try earlier? But realistically thinking, how? You know, because you go to school here, they literally just tell you that you're a slave.
Right.
They literally just tell you that you're a slave. Everybody else discovered this country. They got this gold. They were kings and queens, but
You.
yeah,
Us.
you were nothing. And that's it. That's your legacy. So what do you even expect some of these the younger generation, these younger girls and boys to really think of themselves, you
Mhm.
know? And we grow up with that. And it like it's just it's a lot.
It
And
is.
the fact that our ancestors were able to survive that, it's just unbelievable. How amazing.
Is that? Yeah.
They overcame so much, and to even just be in their legacy. Do you know how amazing that is?
Yes.
You came from warriors.
Mm-hmm.
You came from, oh my gosh, warriors, people who were very intellectual. They were saying that some of our ancestors, when they came over here, they were writing in their own languages. Like, these weren't stupid people.
No. No, and not illiterate at all.
Absolutely not. And they were also very spiritual. Like, the amount of things that they did that we don't even know all about it. It's just it's beautiful. And they survived all of that. And here we are now, like really a resilient people. And we really got to start acting like that. You know,
Yes,
we got to get back to that. I know that a lot of us are broken and a lot of us have issues and things that we're dealing with, but we got to start really loving ourselves again, and we got to really start having pride in ourselves as a people again, because I used to even think like, why did they do all these things to us, and why did we just let it happen? But now I'm starting to really see the other aspect of it, and it's like, forget the whys right now.
yeah,
We got to focus on moving forward and not playing into their plan or their trap. you know
exactly.
we have to really change our mentality, and it's just what a wonderful time.
What a beautiful time to wake up, African.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely. I love what you said because we have this opportunity to go beyond the why and to go into what. What are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? Because so much of our energy has been caught up in helping to create a more perfect union here in the West. So much of it has been, and that went on for years. We were fighting for civil rights. We were fighting for the right for this. We were fighting against, apartheid. We were fighting in the 60s against colonialism for the African nations to be free. So when you said this is such a beautiful, a beautiful and amazing time, you know how much amazing things have happened just to be able to create this moment so that you and I can talk, so that you and I can be on YouTube using this technology together.
absolutely. It's definitely a wonderful union, and this is what we have to do collectively, because as you mentioned, we got to stop worrying about everybody else. Like, we've never had the time to worry about us.
Hmm.
you know we've always, oh, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to build this country, we got to build that country, we got to run away because our country isn't good, because someone else is ruling that country. Like, we have to really think about what's ours and how we could protect what we have, because we haven't had the opportunity to do that. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, we just let it. No, no, we didn't actually have the opportunity to do that,
Mm-mm.
but we gotta make and create that opportunity, you know, and just forget everybody else, because they don't care about us as much as
All
they
right,
don't care about us.
KA. All right. And we had this opportunity, and we had so many lies told. I am from Mississippi and very a proud Mississippian, so I know a lot of the stories of the revolts of how. But after you continue to, you continue to hurt this, or generations of people are gone, right? Just think from the 60s, generations of people were had to be were impacted somehow by leaders being taken out. Generations, right? Taken out, and leaders after leaders taken out. And so this has happened throughout our history, and on here in the US, and also has happened in Africa as well. And so we were we were up against a formidable foe. And with all of the psychological, I was gonna say anyway, psychological damage that has happened because of religion and all of the other things, we had a lot to overcome, and we had a lot to uncover about ourselves. And this is why we are just in a beautiful space now, because we're just like, like an onion. We're just peeling those layers back. And the more you peel it back, the more you uncover and peel back, you realize they were powerful, and they fought, and they were warriors, and they did just not sit down and just take it. They were fighters, And I am so proud. I am so proud more than in now than ever to call myself African and to know my heritage and know who I am. And so I just appreciate all that you're doing, especially for young millennials like yourself. I do wish at your age I had gone, and so I'm just really grateful to see you in this space, holding this space, and knowing that all is well, and knowing that you have this beautiful opportunity to create the life that you desire. And so I am just so proud of you.
Aw, thank you so much. That means a lot.
You are welcome. You are welcome, sis. You are welcome, sis. And I'm praying that this happens. You've got your goals, that this happens for you much sooner, and holding that space for you, that this happens much sooner for you than 2 years, that you're able to do the things you want to do whenever you want to do them. And if that means a month from now or tomorrow, that you can see your timeline bending to your reality
Yeah.
and bending to when you want to go, right? Seeing yourself traveling now, today, seeing yourself going now, right? If it's through your YouTube channel or the other things that you may be doing through blogging or your website, or whether, what are the opportunities that you're creating, that you're beginning to use your power of alchemy with the help of the ancestors to create this life now. And so I've been calling on the angels and the ancestors, even when because even I keep hearing for you travel. I keep hearing travel, but I don't know why that is. That something but I just keep hearing like travel vlogger, travel. I just keep hearing that for you. But whatever you decide to do, that you begin to travel and see yourself traveling there first, and really going and moving on the continent. I think things are going to really open up, for you as you begin to really hone into this one word, and that is now.
I
Now,
got you. I see what you're saying.
right now, and seeing yourself now, as in a now moment, not in as a later reality, but as something that is happening now. So that means, like, for example, you're in school and you need to really finish a college degree or whatever you may be doing. Like you had plans to finish something, because I want to finish my master's before I leave. So you had plans to do that. Then you see yourself moving in a way where you can move these things online, or move the things that you need so that you can create the life that you desire. Because we're going into this digital economy. And so my son taught me something. He is a digital nomad. He's definitely moved all of what he does online. Um he tutors online. And so this is this season, while we have the thing that should not be named with the man, right, out here, that you create this reality, you move in this way, you move in a way that's going to support you, like you are. I mean, you're courageous in starting a YouTube channel, and so already see it monetized, already see the opportunities and the sponsorships coming forth and available to you, the free hotels, the free tickets, the free room and board, the free, the food, the sponsorships, to create the life that you desire, and actively seeking those things so that you can create that life for yourself.
All right. I'm thinking about that. Thank you so much.
You're
I'm
welcome.
envisioning it now a
Yes.
little more.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. It's beautiful, right? It's beautiful. It really is.
Absolutely.
It is. Well, thank you. And namaste to you. Thank you so much for joining me. Was there a final thought that you wanted to share before you go?
Oh, yeah, just a final thought is that this whole traveling to Africa thing, I know it's very new for a lot of people. However, this is something that has been happening, just not in mass that it's happening right now. And that definitely is a sign that more people are mobilizing together. So if anyone is afraid about doing this, there are so many resources. I can assure you that there's an expat community in every single country. I can assure you. Go to the Facebook groups, you will find somebody. We can all do this together. Yeah, that's everything that I wanted to say.
We can all do this together. That is absolutely beautiful. Well, big hugs, sis. I love you so much. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you sharing your wisdom. And may you be blessed and may you manifest everything that you need and everything that you desire.
Thank you so much.
All right. Wasn't that beautiful? I mean, wow. Ah, goosebumps. Ah, so many good things. I'm telling you. So many good things are happening. They're happening. They're happening. They're happening. They're happening. They're happening. They're happening. It is coming to pass. It is happening. And it is happening now. So many beautiful things. Right? This is our season. This is our time to arise and to manifest and to create all of the things that we desire. This is it. So, blind guy, his wife, and their life says, I woke up. I'm woke, but currently sleepy. East Coast time, seriously, though, I'm still learning and growing. I know we're all growing together. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. And as African millennials said, it's a lot that we've been through. We've been through in our generational line in our DNA. We have been through so much. And so it's time to remember who we are, not only to awaken, but to remember who we are, to remember our crown, to remember our royalty and our royalness, to remember our wealth, to remember all that is. And so we can ask the ancestors to help us remember, right? We've been so taught to focus on the pain of what has happened in slavery, and it kept our minds, right? And an African millennial alluded to this. It kept our minds focused, and this is why you see youth doing, what they're doing. Memphis, they just had a baby who was shot, a small child that was just shot, just playing outside, playing for no reason. The child wasn't even the target, but was at the wrong place at the wrong time, out with their family. And so our minds have been so caught up in this trap of endless poverty and degradation and sadness and fear and abuse and oppression that we haven't been free enough and clear enough to be able to create the things that we desire. And so this is our time to remember and to craft a new story of who the ancestors were and who we have been created to be. Milton says the ancestors were very powerful and strong. Absolutely. Extremely powerful and extremely strong. And so ask the ancestors to tell you the story of who they were, because we have relied on mainstream media, right? And mainstream media has said that they were passive, that they were, they turned the other cheek and then they just sat there and just took it. No, they fought year after year, decade after decade. They fought, and that is why one reason there's so much brutality that has happened in the West, because the more we fought, the more brutal they became. There would be no need to be brutal if people are just sitting at their home, sitting on the plantation, and they weren't trying to be free, and they weren't trying to go nowhere, and they were happy. There would be no need for the whips and the chains and the brutality. The level of brutality speaks to the level of freedom and power and strength of our ancestors. And so you have to flip those stories, continually flip those stories whenever they come up, right? And be reminded of who you are, that you come from a powerful people. One of the saddest t-shirts I saw this summer during all of the civil unrest and all the things that were going on as we were fighting, right, for our men, fighting for our very lives. One of the saddest t-shirts I saw was, we are not our ancestors. And I thought to myself, but you are, baby. You just don't know who your ancestors were. You just don't know how powerful they were and how amazing they were, and how you still have that blood, and you still have that power, you still have that strength, you still have that ability to create the life that you desire. You still have that baby inside of you. Arise. This is a season to arise and to be courageous and to know that you have within you all of the power that you need to create the life that you desire. And this is what you've been awakened to do. Brianna Day, thank you so much for joining me, sweetie. Brianna says, about to cry. Let the tears flow. I have cried. I have wept for the ancestors. I have cried and wept for myself. I have cried because we are here to do two things, right? We're here, of course, to awaken, but we're here to heal our ancestral line. We're here to heal those things that happen, right, to our people. So that healing, mental healing that should take place before we go to the motherland that African Millennial talked about, the healing that must take place, because we have been traumatized so much. We have been so traumatized throughout the diaspora. Now, I put African American at the beginning because YouTube just likes the algorithm. The YouTube algorithm likes those words. They love African American, right? Because we don't. I'm saying they love the algorithm. A friend of mine taught me this, but I'm saying they love that name and love the algorithm. And if they love that name and love that algorithm, that means that the advertisers love that name and love that algorithm. You understand what I'm saying? And if that's the case, you're not even realizing just how powerful you are, how powerful you, African Americans, people in the diaspora, just how powerful you are, that you have advertisers that are targeting you, right? And targeting who you are. That people are literally coming from around the world, even Africa, to come here to the US because they would like to be African American. And when they get here, we immediately tell them, no, you got it better at home, babe. Yeah, well, you got it better where you are, right? But there's so many people, right, coming here because of the wealth that we have been able to amass, the things that we've been able to achieve here in the West as African Americans. And sometimes we lose sight of even that, what we've been able to do just in modern culture, from our music to the clothing to like the sparkly thing, believe this little swag that we got, this stuff we got going on. And so when you go home, you're going to be able to impact the world, right? And not just Africa, but the world. And I do agree. Sometimes we here in the diaspora, we as African Americans, we get such a bad rap. Like we do one thing and the world, because the world is watching us. And why, right? Tupac, right? All eyes are on us. Why? If we are not a special clan, and we are, because Africans feel like we are a special clan unto ourselves, right? So if we're not special, if we're not powerful, if we're not amazing, why do there need to be agents? Why is there a need for agents? You ever thought about that? That need snacks. If we're not powerful and we're not amazing, then why is anyone worried about needing an agent trying to discourage us from going home? Why they would have sent us back a long time ago. Why was the need for us to stay here? If we weren't powerful, if we weren't intelligent, if we weren't intellectual, if we weren't creators, if we weren't master reality benders, master reality benders and crafters and designers. If we didn't have the ability to create and design something within our minds, I remember growing up and people, women could sew and they did not even have patterns. They would sit there and think of something in their mind and take old, y'all remember those paper bags, the brown paper bags? They would take the old brown paper bags and they would make a whole pattern and design. My husband now takes old pallets and builds furniture. We are so talented. Music and arts and writing and all of the things that we do. Powerful and strong. We are powerful and strong. Brianna Day says, this reminds me of the Lion King. Yes, Hakuna Matata, which is the Lion King is based on, if I'm not mistaken, is based on stories out of Tanzania. We don't know our power. And the saying Hakuna Matata, it comes out of Tanzania. We don't know our power. We don't own our own stories. We don't own our power. We don't own our own stories. And it's time. It is time that we own them. We have about, I'm going to end the stream in about 14 minutes. I was going to say 15 minutes, but in about 14 minutes. And so if anyone wants to come on these last 14, or not the whole 14 minutes, but wants to come on, I'm going to put this link in the stream so that if anyone wants to come on. So I appreciate you guys for sharing. And yes, Milton, thank you so much, African Millennial. Thank you so much for sharing. It was beautiful and it was extremely touching. Yes, beautiful and extremely touching to see young people with this mindset, to see young people who understand and who get it and who are willing and who are able. And they are going to be the builders of the next generation. They're going to be the ones to go to Africa, right? And build. We will be there to share our wisdom and it'll be like, baby, put that here and put that there. We're going to create this together with the youth and the wisdom. And look, African millennial definitely is a wise soul. And so it's beautiful to hear and to see our African young women and men standing together to build something beautiful in Africa. And I'm just so proud of her. Like, why she's my own child, y'all. I could be her play mom. So I can be her auntie. Maybe I can be her auntie, right? StreamYard. Yes, you can come on StreamYard, y'all. I got that link dropped if you want to come in. It's in the link below. Jackie C. Yes, my grandmother was like that. Taking those paper bags and making patterns. This is such a great subject. Jackie, thank you so much for being here, sis. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Absolutely. Used to take those old paper bags, honey, and take Kroger sacks. Y'all probably, I'm giving my age now, but take Kroger sacks. I used to hear my grandma talk about Kroger sacks The big old bags that the rice and the vegetables used to come in, and they would take those Kroger sacks and they would make clothes out of. Right? They would make soap and all everything that they needed. Make food. This is how you got the best Thanksgiving food on the planet, honey. You got chicken and dressing and all the good stuff. I mean, how do you make cornbread taste that good and put vegetables and meat and chicken and all kind of stuff? And they're reaching back, right, from their ancestors and cooking foods. And you'll go to the motherland, and those foods and aromas and smells will be so similar because they were an enterprising people and they could make it do what it do. A sharecropper on a sharecropper salary, they could make it, I was gonna say they could make it rain, but they could extend, right, and take care of their families. And they could extend a meal to last days. You eat off of Thanksgiving dinner, you be sitting there eating a week later, you still have dressing. How many of y'all know you'll still have dressing and you'll still have greens and you'll still have all this other good stuff because they learn how to bend their realities. They learn how to create the life that they wanted and they desired. And for them, their hope was always in the next generation. Their hope was always in the ones that are to come. Right. So when we see our young, right, sweet babies, intelligent, smart, Black excellence, like African millennial, rising to the occasion, hearing and listening to the call of the ancestors and understanding. She comes right into this conversation, understanding, right, that we have to create and craft our own world, just like all of you. It's beautiful. The burlap bags, yeah, them Kroger sacks, them burlap bags, burlap bags, yeah, they did. They would create all kinds of stuff, bags. They would create shopping bags. They would create bags to store things. They would create. My brother, they used to wear them as dresses. They did so many things, and we've forgotten just how enterprising they were. Right? We've forgotten Madam C.J. Walker. We've forgotten all of the people, millionaires. Right? We've forgotten their power, that against all odds, they became millionaires. Against all odds, they survived. And so in this season, not only are we called to simply survive, we are called to thrive. And we are called to return to the motherland and to create something beautiful, to bend reality, to bend it to our way, to bend it to our will. We are benders of reality because, you know, if we were not, then how could Joe have won? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. It's unbelievable, and it is unbelievable to the orange because ain't no way that he was supposed to win. But because of Black women, honey, because of Black men. I always forget, my husband's still here, the senator in or congressman in South Carolina. I always forget him. He was one of the first people when Biden's campaign was slipping, when it was just fledgling, to speak out on his behalf. You all know who I'm talking about in South Carolina. So many. And then in Georgia, look what happened in Georgia. A whole red state gets flipped. Baby, if we're not powerful, I don't know what we are. We have, as a people, have turned American politics on its head. Us, right? And so even this happened with the election of Barack Obama. We began to envision a world where a person of color or a man, a Black man, could become president, right? Clyburn, right? Clyburn in South Carolina. He spoke um, on behalf of Biden, and we began to shift our attention towards him, right? And so some of us know and we understand in the spiritual realm, we understand this. We understand that this is just an opportunity for us to get our house in order so we can go on where it's not going to deter any of us. But I want to do a maybe do a live and talk about that. Where are you on your plans now that this election is taking place? And now that the outcome is what it is. But I want you to know that it's just a sign that we're able. This was a sign. Take it for what it is in American politics that we are able to bend our realities, this reality, and that we're able to create a world where what we think, what we decide, what we promote, what we believe, what we honor, what we call forth will happen and will take place. And not only is it going to happen here, right? In America, you're going to see shifts and changes even in America. We'll talk about that in the broadcast for sure. We're going to see shifts and changes even in America. More now that we have this power, we're getting our power back, we're going to shift even more things, right? Even the penal system. No, they're not going to continue to lock our people up the way that they have. We're going to shift these things. The poverty that exists here in the West for our people, the miseducation, lack of education, the going to bed hungry. We're going to mentally begin to focus and concentrate on those things so that we can change those things because we know everybody's not going to want to go back home, right? But we're going to shift those things. And even eventually begin to shift those things where more and even more in the mass exodus, more and more it expands, right? More and more, and even more people are going home. But it starts here, it starts within us, it starts within you, it starts within me. Believing, right? And knowing that this can happen. Oh no, we ain't ready for that. Believing and knowing that wherever our feet touch the soil, that we change the reality of the world. The same way that we as a people have changed music, the impact of music, we've changed fashion, we've changed everything. We've changed it all just in the last, got about 3 more minutes, guys. Just in the last, 20 years, I've seen even a change in makeup. Remember, we used to have to get fashion fair, or we would have to get, I can't even think of those other makeup names. Dark and was it Dark and Lovely? I don't know, but it was hard for us to find all of different makeup, skin colors or tones that matched our skin color. And now you have everyone from Maybelline to CoverGirl creating and adding more lines of makeup. And not only that, not only that, you have influencers like Jackie Aina, right? Who are just booming in this game of makeup. And who would have ever thought that makeup just 20, 30 years ago that we would ever have makeup that fit our skin color as perfect as it does now. And then there's still room for improvement, don't get me wrong. But we keep bending. Everywhere we go, we keep bending reality and shaping reality and making people form and conform to who we are. Even with Mrs. Obama, we keep making people shift right? Absolutely. This America is doomed. Right, you right. You are. I got this link in the stream. Got about a couple of minutes if anybody wants to come in. So, yes, you're right. You're right. It is because she must be returned to what she has given. And it just is what it is. But wherever we are, so that's why we got to get our people out. But wherever we are and we touch, but see, the wealth of the wicked has to come to the wise. So that's what I mean by that. So the wealth of the wicked has to come to, right, to the true people and to the true source, to the true people, right. And so that's what I mean by that. So even though we may be here, right, or wherever we are, it has to be returned to us. And we must rule and reign wherever we go and wherever we are. I think you're hearing what I'm hearing, what I'm saying. That's what I mean by that. Not that other people get to stay in power, unfortunately, but it is what it is. It's so as the cycle goes. And so the last shall become first, and the first shall become last. See what I'm saying? That's what I mean by that. It shall be overturned. We're saying the same thing. We are. They say the same thing. Anja Africa, hey baby. Love that you look that beautiful sign beside your name. Yes, he's a supporter and a member investor in this channel. I love it. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, Fashion Fair, Iman, Ebony. That was the one I was trying to think of. Ebony and Bobby Brown. Now we have all of these beautiful, and still we have all of these, beautiful things, right? All these beautiful makeup companies, right? Now, so many beautiful things. And before we were not even, I mean, you just the makeup before, I just remember growing up and my grandmother complaining about the makeup, and it was even better in the 70s and 80s when I was growing up. It still it was far worse years before, right? Unless you um had those special people who were making up the makeup themselves, and yeah. They were coming up for some beautiful things. And so now we're bending, right? Bending reality. You go now, and you know how we like stuff to sparkle and shine. Now that's just a part of everything because they keep bending and wanting sometimes even to be who we are. So everything is sparkling, everything is shining now to accommodate, because once we step our foot with our excellence, with who we are, just as being who we are, when we step foot into this space, people bend to come around to who we are because you are powerful. And it is time for you to wear your crown, kings and queens, and to know your royalness and embrace your royalty, to know completely and truly who you are. This is the time to craft and to create your own reality, whether it's here on the continent. Uh, I'm sorry, I keep because for me, I feel like I'm already in Africa, so y'all have to excuse me. Whether it's here in the West or on the continent of Africa, you have the power. It's all within you to create everything that you need. All right, guys, I promised you 2 hours, and I'm going to come on earlier. I'm going to get it. I kind of got my schedule a little bit better together. I caught up. I was a week behind on my homework, so I finally got that caught up. So I think we're good, and then we'll be able to have back to some earlier times. But I always feel like when people show up, that the right people show up at the right time, and so you were chosen to be here in this moment, and you were chosen to be a part of this message. And I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. And I'm thankful that African Millennial for joining me. And I'm thankful to each of you for being in the chat. Your voices are so important to me. What you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're experiencing. And when I meditate and pray and go before the ancestors and sit with them, you, the partners, the investors, and all of you who watch my videos, whether you come in the chat and I know your names or I don't, you leave a comment or you don't, I still pray over you. And I hold and envision a space for you where you know your royalty and you know who you are, right? What we are going to shake up next, we're going to change the world. We're going to continue to change the world as we already have. Thank you, Maya, for joining me today. All right, guys, as always, you know I love you. All right, that's number one. You are loved. You are amazing. You're powerful. You're beautiful. You are loved. You have everything within you to do all that you need to do. You are chosen for this moment, and you have a perfected assignment that is unique and special to you and your talents and your abilities. You are chosen, and you have everything you need in this moment to do all that you need to do. You are equipped. Honey, you know why? Baby, honey, because you just are. I love you so much, and I'm going to see you in another video real soon. Bye bye, guys. Love you. Be sure to share the broadcast. It would help me out so much. I love you guys. Love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you so, so much. Milton and I really appreciate you so much. Thank you, guys. Be blessed. Be blessed. Bye bye. I'll see you in another broadcast tomorrow. All right, guys. Peace and blessings, Jackie. My sweet Jackie, peace and blessings to you. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Bye bye. Love you.